There is a chemical that you produce in your body that can help you get direct access to your intuition. This chemical is something that I have used to help me gain clarity, gain insights, gain direction, and really tap into my purpose. It's something that we have gotten very disconnected from because of social media, poor food, the fear that is instilled into us. It's caused us to dim this chemical within ourselves. But what I'm going to teach you in this video is how to actually get access to it and what the heck I'm actually talking about. So ancient traditions knew about this chemical. They knew how to be able to access it, to gain a lot of clarity, gain insights, and connect with the spiritual world. The spiritual world is where you connect to your intuition. The intuition is really your higher self talking through you. The way that we get access to this intuition is from our third eye. Our third eye is directly connected to our pineal gland. The pineal gland helps you activate your third eye so that you can tap into the intuition and tap into the spiritual world. Now, what is this chemical that I am discussing? Well, it's referred to as DMT. You might know DMT from things like psychedelics, such as LSD or psilocybin. But we also have this chemical within our bodies, within ourselves. Really what these substances help us do is stimulate what we already have inside of our body. And we can get access to this chemical, also referred to as N-dimethyltryptamine, from using our own breath. Now, how do we do that? Well, what breathwork allows you to do is stimulate this DMT in your body because the rhythmic cycle of the breathing. So when you go into deep breathwork, and this is the way that I teach it, you go big inhalations, big exhalations, and that's how you start out with it. That rhythmic cycle of the breath over and over and over again, it puts you into an altered state of consciousness because of the DMT that's being stimulated. We hold DMT in our lungs and in our brain, in the pineal gland. When you go into this breath work, the breath, it stimulates the body to produce more and more of this DMT. So as you go into deeper and deeper breathing, you stimulate more DMT and you get access to your intuition because the mind starts to shut off when you get into this altered state of consciousness. And this altered state of consciousness allows you to be in a place where you have direct contact with the spiritual world. Why? I believe it's because we really tap into what we actually are. We are light and energy. So when the mind gets out of the way, we form this disconnection, or we form more of a connection with our body and what it actually is holding inside, which is all this energy, and outside of us too. So we get really tapped into that, which gains all this insight, all these downloads, all this clarity. And now to make it more simple for you and how you can actually start to get into it and why it's so important is doing deep breathwork practices. So you can do practices such as somatic breathwork. This is really big inhalations in and out, and you do this for a period of time, and there's some periodic breath holds, and then you go into more of a state of calmness in the second half of the breath, which really allows you to be in this state where you're very in tune with your intuition. You've stimulated all this DMT and now you get to sit in it. And then there's also conscious breath work as well. There's Wim Hof, something that I like to use in the mornings to really stimulate this. And there's also holotropic breath work, which is very intense and really stimulates a lot of this. And how this was first discovered, so that you know, is Stan Grof was doing trials with LSD, and LSD stimulates DMT in the body. However, it started to get shut down, so he developed a type of breathwork called holotropic breathwork, which I mentioned before, and people were getting the same effects as LSD. LSD was helping people gain insight, clarity, and also helping them heal their bodies and release things like trauma. And that's what this deep breathwork can help you do as well. When you go into this different state of consciousness, you are able to see things from a different perspective. I know that for myself, when I was holding a lot of childhood trauma, I was able to see it in a different perspective, and the relationships that I had in my life and why people were the certain way that they are, why they treated me the way that they did, I was able to see it. I was able to give forgiveness, and it was this altered state of consciousness that allowed me to do that. So when you go into this deep breath work, that's what it helps you do. So starting to do this on your own or with a guided professional can really help you access your intuition. So if you're somebody that is wanting better clarity in their life, more focus, maybe you want to heal yourself, maybe you want to overcome things like trauma, the production of this chemical will help directly with that. And I believe that we have this chemical within us to get access to the spiritual world. Because when we incarnate into a human body, we forget what we actually are. We forget, if you believe in it, any past lives that we have lived. We forget where we might actually come from, and we just look at ourselves as a human. And then we have this breath that, when we use it in a certain way, can help us get into this completely different realm and field than we're in with our conscious mind. And that's why I believe we have our breath, and that's why I believe we have DMT within our body. Why else would we have it? Why else would we have something that helps us get access to this whole spiritual world? I believe that's why we have it, so that we can figure out what we actually are. We can do so much healing. We can get access into a realm where time kind of goes away, and we can gain so much clarity and insight into why we're here and what we're meant to be doing here, while also just releasing any blockages that are stored within our energy centers. Believe that's why we have it. So if you want to start getting into this breath work and start to stimulate the DMT, I'm going to take you through right now just 30 breaths where we're going to do it together, which will help you start to feel it, start to get into it. I know that when I do these prolonged breathwork sessions with myself and other people, you can really start to feel a light here. You might start to see some white light here. And that's because you're really tapping into your intuition, and you're really tapping into your third eye, which is where this is. And you're stimulating the DMT in the pineal gland. That light is really what you are, and that's what helps when you're doing this type of breath work. So wherever you are right now, let's just take a second together. Just close down your eyes. Take a breath in with me through the nose. Let it go. Breath in. Let it go. And now in a moment, we're going to get into these big breaths. Ready? Let your current breath fall out. We're going to do 30. Ready? Go. In and out. In and out. In and out. Big breath in. Let it go. Big breath in. Let it go. In and out. In and out. In and out. Keep going. Keep going. Ten more. In and out. 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 5 more. In. Let it go. 4. 3. 2. Now big breath in and hold. Hold at the top. Hold for a second. You can probably feel the tinglings in your fingers throughout your body. That means you're stimulating this DMT. You're moving this energy. Keep holding. Keep going. Really feel this connection within yourself. We're going to let that breath out in 5 seconds. Let it all go. Now just return to normal breaths. Take a minute. Just normal breaths now. Now you can go ahead, slowly open your eyes, coming back into the space. And now you probably saw that you probably feel a little bit different. You probably feel a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit lightheaded. That's totally normal. But you can see that you're moving energy. You can start to feel the tingling sensations and something within yourself. Maybe you did have a little bit of the third eye opening and some light there. And if you did that over and over again, let's say you did 3 to 5 rounds, you would really tap into it. So this is something that you can start to do with yourself. And we can start to tap more and more into our intuition, gain more and more clarity, really find what we truly are and this light and love that we hold inside of ourselves. So I hope that you start doing this with yourself. If you would like access to 10 of my guided breathwork recordings from 5 minutes all the way up to 30 minutes, which will help you do exactly this, you can click the first link down in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.